Hello, and thank you for watching my video. This is another in the series looking at PvP builds after the Heart of Thorns update, and this is my Sinister Reaper build. Now, this is a build that I've found very useful. For those of you not sure, you know, how well this is, I'm already up to the 2nd division in the Emerald side, and regarding winning with this Reaper, I actually have won the 5 necessary ranked matches as a Reaper using this particular build. So it works for me. Let's hopefully it works for you. So let's talk about what the skills I actually have. Obviously, you can see here I've got the Great Sword. I also run Staff. Very useful for particularly using the. It's got a bit of Condi cleanse. It's got Fear as well as significantly using Chill, and that's where we're going to talk about the build. I'll come on to the other skills a little bit later. Let's go and look at our utilities. So first of all, you can see here Great Sword and Staff. I actually have a Sigil of Chilling on both to increase the chill duration, Sigil of Force on the Great Sword, and Sigil of Ice on the Staff, because when you put down the Sigil of Ice using the marks, it should actually give the chance to get a hit for chill as well. Rune of Strength, you can see here already there's a trend. It is a heavy chill build. So we have an increase of chill by 30%. We have a 25% chance when struck to cause chill, and there's a lot more condition damage. Also, when I use a healing skill, my enemies are actually chilled for 3 seconds. What's the sigil, you ask? Sorry, what is the amulet I'm wearing? It's Sinister Power Precision Condition Damage. It's actually what I actually have in my PvE equipment. If you actually look here, all mine is Power Precision Condition Damage. And actually, again, it's very similar to my PvE build that I run as a Sinister Reaper. And this is what I found very useful. So let's look at the traits. With the Spite, I actually run Shroud skill gives 1 gives Might. Consume conditions to gain health when you strike a foe beneath 25%, so we actually gain health. Inflict vulnerability when you strike a foe below 33%, so we get an increase in damage of 25%. This, for killing blows, is where Gravedigger is extremely impressive. You wouldn't want to take those because we don't really have any focus skills, and although chilling a foe inflicts vulnerability, this is actually pretty decent. I actually prefer to have that little bit of Condi removal when I hit a foe beneath 25%. Now, it's only one condition, admittedly, but it gains that bit of health. You know, you can take a bit of chill. It is an option because you'll be inflicting a significant amount of vulnerability. However, generally, a lot of players actually put out a lot of vulnerability, but it's an option. You can increase that. I have put in Bitter Chill on occasion. And then we look in the major trait line. We don't go Chill of Death, and you know, to cast Spinal Shivers. We actually go for Constantly Apply Vulnerability while in Shroud, and this is where why I don't take this trait, because I go into Shroud a lot and can actually, you know, put that vulnerability out on someone. We don't have any axe skills, so that's irrelevant. And we actually gain Might when we hit someone below 50%. Increases damage again below the threshold. Now, we increase damage by 20% when they drop beneath 50% health. Let's actually combine that with one of the other traits. We actually do a more damage while down, which is extremely important in, you know, sort of PvP right now. But when we strike someone, when we beneath the threshold, we actually gain. We do a 25% more damage while downed. So we're getting the invulnerability, and then actually increasing damage to players below the threshold. It's incredibly useful for those, you know, if you want to finish players off. And yeah, generally this is what I find very useful. So that is the Spite trait line. And what I'll try and show you guys when I actually attack the Golem, just to give you an idea of how much increased damage you're actually going to get from this. So Soul Reaping, we actually get increased life force gain from skills, and you can see here you've got the life force of 3% from marks, and marks generate life force when triggered, so they are unblockable. Gain spectral armor when our health falls below 50%, and life force drains slower while in Shroud, and the Shroud recharges faster by 15%. Really useful for getting back into Shroud. Rather than take out the shield, you know, you could pierce and cause vulnerability. We're already getting the vulnerability from rending Shroud, and we don't really want to have too much of an increase in movement speed. We don't need spectral. We don't have any spectral skills apart from the one that we automatically triggers when we know below 50%. We could go with Fear of Death, but we don't have. The only fear we really have is in Death Shroud and with Reaper's Mark. We do more damage while above the life force threshold. So while we have more than 15% health, we actually get an increased damage of 5%. Nice to have. And we could gain stability when we enter Shroud, but we prefer the critical hit chance. I mean, while we're in Shroud, we are doing significant opportunities for critical hitting, and we can do a lot of damage using our Shroud skills. So that's why I've taken those particular trait lines. We come on to Reaper. There we get the Reaper Shroud and obviously Greatsword. We have recharge of shouts because we actually have 4 shouts, so that's why that's really useful. And also your shouts siphon health and gain additional recharge reduction for each foe they hit. So the more you hit, the quicker they recharge. Really useful. We could go for Chilling Nova, but again, I want the shouts to recharge, particularly for my health, because look at that, it's an 18-second cooldown, really quick. And we don't really need to take Relentless Pursuit. Whenever you inflict fear, you also chill. Well, that's going to benefit for Reaper's Mark. Look at that, 5-second chill on that skill. And striking a chilled foe grants might and life force. So we get 1% life force for every foe we hit that's chilled. Really, really good trait to take. We don't really want to take the Soul Eater because, you know, although it reduces the recharge on Greatsword skills, I am spending a lot of time in Death Shroud, a lot of time on my staff. So it's really, you don't tend to use the Greatsword as much as you would do to make this trait viable. Decimate defenses. Striking a foe with vulnerability increases your critical hit chance. Now you could take this if you're pumping out more more and more vulnerability, but again, I'm doing a lot of chilled damage, so this is where this comes in more effective. Chilled lasts longer, and chilled foes deal less damage to you. And this next trait is the big one. Chill deals damage over time. So we are pumping out a lot of chill. You've got the chill here. You've got the chill with the Reaper's Mark. You've got more chilled with Suffer. We're doing a lot of chilled damage, and so that's why it's actually another good condition damage to take. Now you could go with Blighter's Boon, but we're not putting any boons on ourselves. And we could go with Reaper's Onslaught to attack faster and actually, you know, get a reduced rechargeable Shroud skills if we kill someone. But the chill is really effective, particularly with the build we run. So let's take a look. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to go in and we're going to chill them first. So we're going to use the skill 3 to chill. And we're going to go in and we've chilled them. And we'll show you just the auto attack. And we'll come with a Gravedigger. There you go. Look at that. Nice 4K crit. Remember, when you hit someone below 50%, Gravedigger recharges pretty much quicker again. So it wasn't too bad. I was just playing around, just showing you. So let's go in between the two of them. And let's show you actually what happens when we use our shouts. So we go to the shouts. You can see that already they're actually having a quicker cooldown. And we use Gravedigger again. Again, look at that crit. It's hitting for 4,600 damage. We're going to the Death Shroud and doing a lot of damage. Using skill 5 is pretty effective. Look at that. A big hit down on the Reaper. You've got the skill 4, which is the Spiral Circle. You leave that. You don't deactivate it. Again, doing a lot of damage. Skill 2 is the sort of the spin to win thing. This is the fear skill when you detonate the skill 3. You make them run away. Again, pretty much causing invulnerability and damage. So you can see there, the longer we stand next to someone, the more damage we're actually going to do. So we come back out and we use skill 2 and boom. Oh, didn't quite crit there. And there we go. That was another crit because we actually hit Gravedigger. Because we hit them below 50%, we get an instant recharge. So again, I'll just show you, we get them down to 50% or below 50%. So there we go, we've chilled them, and F2, we use skill 2, Gravedigger, and again, it's recharged immediately. So again, look at that, a nice 5,600 damage crit with our skill 2. If we just look at what else we can do, so let's use skill 5. I love this skill, it's lovely, it brings them there. So if your opponent's ranged, say a Dragon Hunter, for example, whose traps over there, you can do pretty much a nice bit of damage and get them to come over to you pretty easily. Look at that, 25 stacks of Vuln. Again, if we staying close to them, you know, this is what you want to be doing a lot. Doing quick critical hitting, and then skill 2, nice bit of work, spin to win. And then we're going to go skill 5 on this target golem. Boom, there we go. The chilled vulnerability, more chill going out. Look at that, pumping the chill out, and just really easy to kill a light armored character. Again, skill 5, you know, you want to drag them over. You've got this skill 4 if you are in close to blind and cripple them. Really useful against melee foes. And, you know, you can again using Gravedigger and again Gravedigger and again Gravedigger and just keep doing it. Oh, it wasn't quite below 50% there. Again, you've got your shouts that are going to keep giving you more life force, and it's really useful, you know, really pretty decent damage builder, damage dealer, and it's useful both in solo and in team fights, because against team fights, the more foes you hit, the more damage, more quickly your skills will recharge. So let's have a look at what it's like against the Chieftain. So what we're going to do, we're going to go in and we are going to chill them, and we'll probably fear him. So there we go, chill, fear, we put some regen on ourselves, and we'll do spin to win. We use skill 4, skill 5 when it comes out, and then we'll skill 3 and detonate it. So you can see all the ticks, we're getting a lot of damage. I'm just trying to show you some of the damage we can actually do. Let's go and use our greatsword now. So we've got below 50%. Great Gravedigger, and then we use skill 4, skill 5. I'm just playing around here. F1, go back into Death Shroud, and there we go. I have to say, why is he regenerating health? It's a bit annoying here. He seems to be regenerating health because he's out of combat, which is kind of weird. But I'll show you better on the Chieftain. Sorry, against Svanir. So again, we'll come out, we'll go with the greatsword, we'll go with the greatsword, we'll go with the greatsword. There we go, he's dead. That took a lot longer because I don't know why he kept coming out of combat. That was kind of weird. Alright, so let's look at Svanir. So what we're going to do, Svanir, we're going to come in, we're going to go with the Grasping Darkness, swap over to our staff, using Fear, go in with our Death Shroud, then come out of Death Shroud, use our shouts, and let's see how that comes out. So use our 5 skill, we've gone in, use our 3, detonate 3 skill, and then spin to win. Oh, please don't come in and interfere with us. Use the 1 skill with a nice bit crit there. Use our shouts. Why is this guy doing this? Okay, right, and then coming in, use the Gravedigger. Gravedigger again. Nice. Gravedigger again, and again. Look at that. Look at those crits there we're doing. Almost 5,800, 5,800, 5,800. So you're doing a lot of damage with the Gravedigger skill. If you can keep them in place, particularly the NPCs are pretty good. But if you're coming in, remember, for foes below 50%, that's when you get the greatsword. You know, the staff is very good as an evasion tactic. It's good to hold on to a point. Because you've got the extra ability to go into Death Shroud, which gives you that resistance and that extra health bar. So you can avoid, particularly if you're coming up against a Dragon Hunter, you can really come in and survive the initial assault by the Dragon Hunter, go into your Death Shroud, come back out, pump out your marks, go in with the shouts, and then the Dragon Hunter's at a big disadvantage. So this is the build I run, and it's been pretty popular in PvP right now. Again, if you want to check this out, just look at the video. It's useful for me. Other options, I wouldn't take any other weapons. I like the staff because the staff gives you a lot of different resistance and survivability. And the greatsword comes out when you really want to finish them off. When you want to do that damage, the greatsword's the main one you go for. I usually bring this out when I've got 50% health, because if I'm trying to get someone over, using Grasping Great Darkness, using the skill 4, which is Nightfall, because that does this AoE sort of circle that's going to pump out a lot of blindness and cripple. You've got the 2 skill, which is Gravedigger, which is the crucial skill, because that is going to be your finisher. Really useful as well if someone's downed, using that skill 2 to cleave them down. Very, very useful to do that. And again, going into your Death Shroud, using the skill 2, the skill 2 and the skill 5 are the big ones. If you want to fear them, using the skill 3, and then using that Poison Field, which is skill 4, which is this one here. If you pop this out, you can see here, you're pumping that a lot of poison. But let's go back. I want to show you what we're going to do. Let's show you on this target golem, when we pump out this, just look at the amount of, we're blinding them, we're crippling them. So they can't, by staying in this AoE field, we are blinding them, and it's really useful against those melee targets. So that's why it's pretty useful to use the greatsword, and I'm hoping in certain situations you'll see, if you're coming up against a melee character, you've got skill 2, gives you regeneration and bleeds them, and gives you that life force. Skill 3 I always put down straight on me, because it gives me, if a thief came in, for example, they're going to get chilled, they're going to get poisoned. And that is a very, very good, particularly against daredevils. I've had daredevils come in on me. Using that skill 3 on me while I'm standing on a point, they'll get chilled and poisoned. Use that 5 skill to fear them away. Again, you're chilling them. Go into the Death Shroud. Use the spin to win to close the gap. Then hit the F5 skill. It's the 5 skill because it's the Executioner's Scythe. If you want to get stability, you press F3. You can see they were pumping out the stability. It lasts for a bit, and then you detonate it to fear your opponents. Using the skill 4 applies that poison field, and remember it's a long bar activation, so you don't want to press 4 then press 1 because you'll cancel that activation. And then you can change into your greatsword and go in and use some of these skills. Again, if you want to inflict the vulnerability, let's actually have a look. We've got the grasping darkness, and then we use the 3 skill, and then we'll blind them. So they've got the vulnerability, we use Gravedigger, and then they're down to 50%. I used it a little bit early there, but look at the vulnerability we've already put on him. It's a lot of damage we can do with this build. It is a decent in a team fight because of the Death Shroud abilities. It's decent solo. You know, there are very few, you know, on occasion I'll lose a 1v1 because I'll come up against something that's just managed to avoid some of my feet, some of my skills, like You're All Weaklings, which does actually weaken them. And gives you might, and that's something I actually haven't really mentioned a lot of these. You know, the Your Soul is Mine is a pretty low healing skill, but it does an enemy siphon, and actually if you're in that mid fight, it can siphon a lot. We have Suffer is the one that gives you, that chills your foe, and then you've got Your Weaklings, which puts the weakness on them, and then you've got Chill to the Bone, which is the massive chilled, a 10-second chill, critical for you know. That is really a big game changer. If you come in and chill them to the bone, they are really going to get affected because it's a 2-second stun and it's a 10-second chill. And the chill to the bone is a crucial skill that you might want to see in action. I actually run Signet of Power rather than, if you look at the other one, I don't really like Rise, and I don't particularly enjoy Nothing Can Save You. Because again, we're putting out a lot of vulnerability. I like that just to give me that extra power boost, meaning I'm doing more damage. But let's actually have a look just to show you what the skill 4 is. Let's actually use skill 5, and then we'll drag him there, and then skill look at this. There you go. Look, he's down. Look at that. He's chilled there. I'm going to fear him. Use some more shouts. We're going to come in. We're going to use that 5 skill. Boom. There we go. Nice critical hit. Okay, this is a little bit better. We're going to use that the 4 skill for the poison field, and then we're going to fear him, and then we're going to use Gravedigger. Swap over to that. Boom. There we go. Nice 4k non-crit hit. That was much better had taking out the Chieftain there. I'm sorry about the earlier one. But there we go. That is this Reaper build. It is pretty damn effective. I hope that you didn't put off by my first fight with the Chieftain where he kept regenerating health because he kept going out of combat for some reason. But this is my Reaper build. This is my Sinister Reaper. Pretty much heavily damaged for power, but can do a lot of condition damage with the chill effect. And that's where this character and this particular build really shines through. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you feel free to leave any comments, any suggestions, any critiques, I'm more than happy to talk to you guys and discuss this. But thanks very much for watching my video. Hopefully you take this on board and it works well for you, and I'll see you on the next one.